Welcome to Pembrey Race Circuit in South Wales for round 6 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. The second day of action here at Pembrey for the club, their second round of a double-header weekend, round number 6. They'll be using the anti-clockwise circuit for today, having used the clockwise circuit for round 5. Blistering sunshine here in South Wales. We get ready to get underway. First of all, Dan Beattie in his Subaru is going to take us on a lap of the Pembrey circuit. The drivers, some of them with a new circuit layout to learn today, so it's off the start line, down a short straight and then to the right and then back to the left again through Ollie's Corner, and then it's onto the loose section, round to the right through Hanson's Bend, named after the great multiple European Rallycross champion Kenneth Hansen, through the Paddock S's as we head over the infield here at the home of motorsport in South Wales, and then it is on the brakes into the left-hander at Carter's Hairpin. Very tight corner on the circuit here, then it's down the back straight known as Speedway Straight. Cars achieve their highest speed of the lap here down this tarmac back straight, onto the brakes again into the left-hander at Brooklands, and then it's over the Toyo tyres infield chicane, a little bit more loose through there. Then it's up to the left-hander at Senna's Bend, named after the legendary Ayrton Senna, of course, and then through towards the finish line and the end of the lap before heading back into Ollie's and the start of another lap. We begin then with the HD Installations Limited Junior category. They're a final. We're on board with Rogerio Mendez at the back of the grid in his Peugeot 106. 7 drivers out there. Heat wins went to Luke Constantine, Tom Constantine and Archie Thomas in their Suzuki Swifts in the 3 heats held to set the grid for this A final. We get underway then, racing over 6.5 laps in this first final of the meeting. Luke Constantine in the yellow and black Suzuki Swift leads them off, looking for his 6th win out of 6 in A finals this year, with James Constantine in 2nd place, the cousin of Luke. Luke's brother Tom is back in 3rd place. They took a 1-2-3 at round 5, with James being passed by Luke on the final bend of the race to take the win and keep his unbeaten run alive. He is in fact the overall leader of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Championship this year. Archie Thomas missed round 5, but he's there in 4th place in the red HT Installations sponsored Suzuki. First non-Swift. In 5th place is Amy Baines in her Vauxhall Corsa. Then we've got Eleanor Corner in the grey Suzuki, and finally Rogerio Mendez in the Extreme 22 run Peugeot 106. So the field starts to spread out then around the first lap of this anti-clockwise course here at Pembrey Circuit. James Constantine in 2nd place was very frustrated when he lost the A final on the last bend of round 5 when he ran a little bit wide through Ollie's. Let's see how he gets on running the opposite way here at Pembrey today. Luke Constantine continues to lead, the family running 1, 2 and 3. James in 2nd place through the left-hander at Carter's. Tom Constantine in 3rd, had a couple of heat wins in round 5 and settled for 3rd in the A final. Archie Thomas giving chase in the number 169. I believe he's the son of Roger Thomas, who's competed in the 4x4 categories over the last couple of seasons with the BTRDA Clubmans Championship. Amy Baines still in 5th place. Rogerio Mendez at the back of the field, racing to raise awareness of autism with the National Autistic Society. He's at the back of the field at the moment in the Peugeot. Close for 2nd place. James and Tom Constantine together. Luke leading by just over a second as they head through Hanson's up towards the Paddock S's, then into Carter's. This is Paddock. Luke continues to lead the Constantine trio for the lead of this one. We're into lap 2 of the 6.5 here in this A final. Archie Thomas further back in 4th position. But it's looking likely to be another Constantine benefit as Eleanor Corner loses it there at Carter's, loses a bit of time. It's back in 6th position. The daughter of Guy Corner has raced in the super modified category over the last few years. Constantine, the top 3 yet again. The family has totally dominated the junior rallycross scene this season, but they certainly didn't expect Luke, the least experienced of the trio, coming into this season, his first season of motorsports, to be unbeaten in the championship at this stage, possibly heading for the overall BTRDA title. All the points from the various classes are combined at the end of the season to give the overall champion. Luke leads it, so James in 2nd place. Got problems there for James, looks like his suspension has broken. He comes to a stop in the middle of Carter's there. Yes, James Constantine has stopped and he will be out of the race. Rogerio Mendes, we're on board with as he comes over the infield in the Peugeot 106, round towards Carter's. There's James Constantine's car. Rogerio has to go round the outside, so James is out of the race with broken front suspension. So that's given Luke Constantine a clear lead. He's heading, by the look of it, for 6 wins out of 6. Tom in second place. And we're going to see another name on the podium. Looks like it's going to be Archie Thomas. He's ahead of Amy Baines, Ellie Corner, and Rogerio Mendes in 6th place. The yellow flag is out on the run into Carter's because James Constantine's car, is on the track. He's running to safety there as the Suzuki is abandoned in the middle of the exit of Carter's there. You can see the front wheel lying at a drunken angle, his front suspension broken, and he is very much out of the race. Frustrating weekend all round for James. He lost the A final win in round 5 yesterday on the last bend, and now out of this one. Archie Thomas, as a result of that, is up into 3rd place. Then we have got Amy Baines looking for what I think will be her best finish of the year in 4th, the ex-autocross driver in her Vauxhall Corsa, based up in the northeast of England. Then Eleanor Corner and Rogerio Mendes round out the field. Archie Thomas, the HT Installations Limited number 169 in 3rd place on the brakes into Ollie's corner. Yellow flag still waving from the marshals at paddock there. Into Carter's, there is that extra chicane in the middle of the road made by the stranded car of James Constantine. Well, the lead gap with just over a lap to go is now up to nearly 4 seconds. Tom Constantine, though, in the quickest lap last time round, 52.4 seconds. 107 of Luke Constantine heading for 6 A final wins out of 6 this year. He's the only unbeaten driver in terms of A finals in all of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross classes this year. He'll be heading for the overall title in his first season of motorsport. It's the first season that junior drivers have been eligible to take the overall title as well. They weren't counted in among the senior classes over the last few years. Could Luke spring a surprise this year? A couple of rounds to go yet after this. Championship goes to Liddon Hill in Kent for the first time in a few years. Season ends at Croft in October up in North Yorkshire. Lead gap is now 4 seconds for Luke ahead of Tom. The two brothers heading for a 1-2. Their cousin James out of the race. Archie Thomas still there in 3rd. He's being caught by Amy Baines. Could she get onto the podium in the PB fiberglass Vauxhall Corsa? First class driving once again from Luke Constantine. He's heading for victory. Well ahead of Tom Constantine in 2nd place. Archie Thomas in 3rd. And the 4th place will go to Amy Baines. By the look of things, Archie Thomas will take 3rd. Baines in 4th. 5th position will go to Eleanor Corner. And further back in 6th, here comes Rogerio Mendes, the Extreme 22 Peugeot 106, funded by Essex Community Foundation Partners, racing to raise awareness of autism, as we said earlier. He finishes in 6th position. Luke Constantine, the winner, 4.7 seconds ahead of his brother Tom. Archie Thomas 3rd, a further 7 seconds back ahead of Amy Baines, Eleanor Corner, Rogerio Mendes. James Constantine was a retirement.
Luke, another clear win for you. What a weekend you're having.
Yeah, it's been really good so far, yeah. Took the win yesterday and again today, so yeah, really good.
Yeah, you drove hard to defend your title. There was a lot of action going on behind you. Did you even see any of that?
I saw a little bit in my mirror, but not much really.
Just out in front?
Yeah.
How did you find the reverse track today?
I prefer this track a lot more than the one yesterday. I prefer the anti-clockwise a lot more, yeah. So yeah, I think it flows a lot better, but...
You were flying, so you must enjoy it out there.
Yeah, really good. I couldn't have done it without Tubby and all of the lads from Victoria Garage who have been fixing the clutch really fast yesterday when it went, and also repairing the car every time, so yeah, really good.
Brilliant. Got a lot of support behind you. You coming to the next round as well?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Get that title defended.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck.
Cheers.
The A final gets underway for pre-1995 Classic division, sponsored by Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire. Sean Buckley in the Mark II Escort with 2 heat wins to his name. The other heat won by Ryan Stutchbury in the Peugeot 205. He gets a bit sideways through the first corner there. It's Buckley who leads them off ahead of Ryan Taylor, yesterday's A final winner in the BMW E30. 3 A final wins for him so far this year. It's Buckley who leads this one. Ryan Taylor goes off through the paddock S's there over the grass. That's allowed Stutchbury through into second place. Ryan Taylor goes down to third ahead of David Ewan, the flying farmer in the Ford Fiesta. Finished second in yesterday's A final, his best results of the season so far. Behind them in fifth place another Fiesta, that of Mark Finch in the yellow car. It's Sean Buckley from North Wales in the number 3 who leads the way. Was champion a couple of years ago in this historic division as it was then called. Now the pre-1995 Classics. David Ewan, the man from Cumbria, in his Ford Fiesta there in 4th place. Didn't pick up a heat win, he won 2 heat wins in yesterday's round 5 of the championship. Finished second in the A final. Ryan Stutchbury up there in second this time in the number 13. The Peugeot 205 chasing Sean Buckley for the lead. Ryan Taylor in 3rd place in the BMW, looking to make it a weekend A final double. Slides the BMW spectacularly there through the left-hander at Carter's. Buckley continues to lead up into Brooklands. Stutchbury second. David Ewan having a look for 3rd place. Nearly caught the car of Ryan Taylor there for 3rd. Mark Finch behind them in the Ford Fiesta. So in 3rd place, Ryan Taylor sideways through towards Ollie's there. Over the finish line to start the second lap. BMW really handling impressively here, very sideways, what we like to see in Rallycross. The car hanging its tail out as he goes over the infield section there, chased by David Ewan in the Fiesta. Sean Buckley continues to lead in the red Ford Escort Mark II, champion a couple of years ago. He's not shaking off Ryan Stutchbury here though in the Peugeot. David Ewan all over the back of the similarly coloured BMW of Ryan Taylor for 3rd. Good to see David Ewan running well. Has had a lot of mechanical problems with that Fiesta over the last couple of seasons. Still Sean Buckley leads the way in the Mark II Escort. More famous in recent years as a rally car, of course. In classic rallying, you see whole fields consisting of Mark II Escorts. Ryan Taylor still 3rd behind Ryan Stutchbury. Into the left-hander at Ollie's they go. On this new for 2018 anti-clockwise layout here at Pembrey. The lead is 2 seconds for Sean Buckley over Ryan Stutchbury. Ryan Taylor about 4 seconds further back. Well, it's less than 2 seconds now because Stutchbury is challenging. He's trying to go around the outside at Carter's there. He won't get through there. He's on the tail of Sean Buckley's Escorts as they go into Speedway straights. Down the tarmac straight they go towards Brooklands. Now is Stutchbury going to try and cut back in? No, he's sticking to the outside line. He'll try and get him at Toyo tyres and chicane onto the infield. He's side by side with the Escorts and he goes through. Ryan Stutchbury into the lead of this classic A final. Sean Buckley's got a puncture. The left rear tyre is punctured, I can see there. So that's the reason he's slowed down. The Escort struggling with what looks like a punctured rear tyre. And so Sean Buckley is down to 2nd place. He's going to try and keep going. He's going to end up running on the rim in the Escort if he's not careful. He'll surely lose out to Ryan Taylor and David Ewan, who are battling behind him. I thought the Escort was fishtailing a bit more than it usually does. And the Ford is down into 2nd place. Continuing on though, sideways through the left-hander at Carter's. Ryan Taylor has caught him now. You can see the car snapping sideways there. He goes down the straights. Sean Buckley, Ryan Taylor goes through into 2nd. David Ewan's going to try and get through now as well. There you can see the punctured tyre, the left rear, as he goes over the Toyo tyre chicane up to the end of the lap at Senna. David Ewan goes through into 3rd place. That's a great shame for Sean Buckley. He's trying his hardest to keep it going. It's not such a problem when he's on left-handers. When he has to turn to the right, that's when he starts to suffer. So Ryan Stutchbury leads now by some 5 seconds ahead of Ryan Taylor's BMW. Ryan Stutchbury going for his 2nd A final win of the year in his Peugeot. Moving up to try and challenge Ryan Taylor at the top of the pre-1995 Classic Championship, sponsored by Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire. David Ewan trying for 2nd place, and Mark Finch is now catching Sean Buckley's Escorts. Battle of the Fords for 4th place. It's Peugeot out front. 2nd place is still the BMW of Ryan Taylor. David Ewan on his tail though. Could we see a change for 2nd here? David Ewan pushing hard, trying to take 2nd place away. We're going into the final lap of this Steve Gaunt Trailers pre-1995 Classic final. Down the inside, nearly a collision between the two blue cars fighting for 2nd place. Ryan Taylor hangs on ahead of David Ewan. This is the best we've seen him run all year this weekend. David Ewan 2nd behind Ryan Taylor in yesterday's A final. And behind Ryan Stuxbury today, who was third yesterday, he's heading for victory this time. And who's going to be second? Ryan Taylor's BMW, the rear-wheel drive Fiesta of David Ewing. It's going to be a win for Ryan Stuxbury. Comes through the infield section at Toyo tyres for the last time. Here he comes up towards the flag. Ryan Stuxbury wins the A final for the Classics. And who's going to be second? They're still nose to tail, these two. Ryan Taylor is just going to hang on sideways across the line of the BMW. David Ewing just fails to catch him on the line there. Good race between those two. Ewing takes third, and fourth is going to be Mark Finch. I think that's his best result of the season so far. Sean Buckley, with a punctured tyre, finishes in fifth. Well, great shame for Sean Buckley there. Looks like he had that race sewn up at one point, but he ends up in fifth. Ryan Stuxbury, the winner, by over 9 seconds ahead of Ryan Taylor, who was just 3/10 clear of David Ewing as they crossed the line together. Mark Finch in fourth place, and Sean Buckley finishes at the back.
Ryan, your second win at Pembrey this season. Well done. It was a bit dramatic out on track, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been dramatic all weekend. Sean hasn't made it easy. Yesterday Sean was out, so it was a bit easier, but luckily he got a puncture and I managed to skip past him, so it was a good race, really.
There was definitely a battle into the first corner off the line as well.
Yeah, I touched with both David and Ryan off the start line, but managed to squeeze my way back through. Ryan ran wide, just giving me the edge to tuck in behind Buckley, so yeah, it was a good race.
You pulled a really good lead on the pair of them actually after that. You were miles in front.
Yeah, so the guys back at the workshop, they've done an amazing job, the team. They rebuilt the engine because it died at Blighton, so it's had new cams. So yeah, it's back up on the power now, keeping up with the Escort, so massive thanks to the team.
Brilliant. And how have you found the track today? It's obviously a reverse run from yesterday's.
I've heard today's track suits my car better. It's shorter straight, so I've got the edge over the rear-wheel drive cars, but yeah, I like the track. There's a couple of big bumps, but you just get around them, so all in all, it's a good day.
Well earned points. We'll see you in the next round.
Yeah, I'll see you at Lyddon.
Thank you.
Some very lively rallycross action here so far at Pembrey, here at round 6 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship, and plenty more great racing to come here in the sunshine of South Wales today. Now it's time for the A final in the AS Performance Super Modified category. Double heat winner Tony Lynch in the Ford KA on pole position, his championship rival, and yesterday's winner Pat Ryan from Ireland in the Vauxhall Nova alongside him. The other heat earlier on won by Paul Johnson in the BMW M3, which completes the front row of this 10-car grid. 6.5 laps coming your way then. The revs begin to rise and away they go down towards the first corner. Good start by Mark Jones further back on the grid in the Toyota MR2, the black and green car on the outside. Fred Lincoln coming through as well in the Ford Fiesta, but it's Tony Lynch in the KA with a 2.3 litre engine squeezed under the bonnet who leads the way. We look back from the KA. Pat Ryan in second place in the Nova. 4 wins out of 4 for him yesterday. He tangled with Tony Lynch on the first lap of the final in round 5. Tony Lynch spun out and had to fight his way back up the order to 4th, while Pat Ryan went on to win. So Tony Lynch will be especially hungry for victory here today. Through the hairpin they go onto Speedway Straights. There is Paul Johnson, had a heat win earlier on with the BMW. He's in 4th place behind Fred Ling in the Ford Fiesta ST150. We go into Brooklands corner for the first time. 4th is Johnson. Nick Angrave in the Honda Civic is in the Honda Integra, I should say, is in 5th position. A couple of BMW Minis battling there further back. The yellow car is Leanne Sedgwick, regular contestant in the Irish Rallycross Championship. Behind her is Grant Rees in the black BMW Mini. The first ever junior Rallycross champion way back in 2003. Hasn't raced for over 10 years in Rallycross. Expect to have him back this weekend. Tony Lynch leads it then as they come through the infield section, the paddock S's, then into Carter's. He's got Patrick Ryan right on his bumper there, literally as they come through the Carter's hairpin. The Nova in second, Fred Ling in third, then we've got Johnson's BMW and Graves Honda. 6 behind them, Mark Jones in the Toyota MR2, the former category champion of a few years ago. Tony Lynch in the Lucas Oil Ford KA leads the way into the second lap. It's a lap and a half to start the race off. There is number 21, Nick Angrave, always a consistent runner. Never seems to quite have the power to challenge for victory though, unfortunately. Maybe his fortunes will change as the season goes on. Less than a second in it between Tony Lynch and Pat Ryan at the end of the opening lap. Leanne Sedgwick still ahead of Grant Rees for 7th place. Further back behind them, David Brown in his Ford Puma. And Guy Corner in his Suzuki Swift rounding out the field. It's in his regular Persia this week Again, swapping for daughter Eleanor's Suzuki Swift. There's Leanne Sedgwick, the former stock car racer in number 144. BMW Mini, previously Rallycross and Citroen Saxo. Out in front is Tony Lynch in the ex-Gareth Wood Ford K8. So ahead of Pat Ryan in the Nova. In the Fiesta, 1.2 seconds now the lead margin. Leading a further 4/10 back. He's going for second place here in the Ford. Johnson, Angrave, Jones, Sedgwick, Brown and Corner. We seem to have lost Grant Rees. His BMW Mini has dropped out of the race. Close for the lead still between these two. Less than a car's length in between Ford K8. It's a bit of a kick car really, that one, with the 2.3 litre engine squeezed under the bonnet. There's Nick Angrave in fifth in his Integra, closing on Paul Johnson for fourth. Fred Link on his own now in third in the Fiesta. Into lap 4 goes Tony Lynch, desperate for a win today after his misfortune yesterday when he made contact with Pat Ryan on the first lap as they fought it out for the lead. Tony Lynch went spinning out into a tyre marker and dropped down the order. He did fight his way back through the field to fourth place, but Pat Ryan took the win. There's only a point between these two in the category championship coming into this round, so Tony Lynch will be eager to re-establish a lead over Pat Ryan, although it won't be an enormous lead if Pat stays on his tail as he's doing now. The Nova harrying the Ford as they head into the backstretch. Looking back from Tony Lynch. The KA seems to be stronger on the tarmac sections. The Nova closes up on the loose. Fred Link in third place in the Fiesta. Then we've got Johnson and Angrave nose to tail. Fred Link, relative newcomer to the series, doing very well indeed. He went well at Blyton earlier this year up in Lincolnshire. Re-wheeling the Nova there, Pat Ryan really trying his hardest to try and take the lead. Nick Angrave closing up in the 21, runs a little bit wide there through Ollie's Bend on the tail of Paul Johnson. Lead gap is still 1.2 seconds. Further 4.5 seconds back is Fred Ling in third. Still further back it's Jones ahead of Sedgwick, Brown and Corner. High Corner at the back in the Suzuki Swift, only a 1300cc engine in that car. Driving down on power to his rivals. Won finals in this category in the past, Guy Corner with a Peugeot 206. Tony Lynch leads into the final lap. Is he going to hang on in front? Mark Jones there, still sixth in the MR2. It's been a fairly subdued weekend for Mark. He's normally up there fighting for the victories. Johnson under fire from Nick Angrave, still for fourth place. That's the second inning between those two as they cross the line to begin their last lap. Could we see the Honda take the BMW for fourth? Could we see the Vauxhall take the Ford for the win? He has a look on the inside, contacts. Tony Lynch gets his foot down. Garoff, he says, to Pat Ryan. He's determined to win this race, Tony Lynch. And again, the KA is stronger in a straight line down Speedway Straight. Pulls away. Looks like he's going to hang on. This is going to be a close one, though. Pat Ryan up on the two wheels off the curb there almost. They head through Toyo chicane for the last time. Heading up towards the line. They're going to push each other almost over the line, but Tony Lynch takes the win ahead of Pat Ryan. Very close between those two. Third place goes to Fred Ling in the Fiesta. Fourth is going to be Paul Johnson in the BMW, hangs on ahead of Nick Angrave. Then further back in sixth position, Mark Jones in the MR2. There's a battle for eighth place. It's going to go to the line. David Brown in the Ford Puma under fire from Guy Corner in the Suzuki Swift, raced by daughter Eleanor in the junior rallycross category. Leanne Sedgwick comes home in seventh place. Now who's going to be eighth? David Brown went out in the B final in round 5, but due to a couple of cars withdrawing, no B final required in today's event, and David is going to hang on for 8th place ahead of the smaller Suzuki of Guy Corner in our AS Performance Super Modified A final. The win goes to Tony Lynch by just 12 hundredths of a second ahead of Pat Ryan over the line. Fred Ling in third place, then Paul Johnson ahead of Nick Angrave. They had a good fight in the midfield. Mark Jones in 6th ahead of Leanne Sedgwick and David Brown. The other finisher, Guy Corner.
Tony, that final, we were on the edge of our seats. What on earth happened on that last corner?
No, it was great. I had a bit of a disaster yesterday. Me and Patrick obviously set the pace yesterday, and we had a coming together at first corner. And I was first at the corner, and obviously it didn't go my way, you know, and it happened. It happens, doesn't it? That was racing. So
had a good battle, the two of you, haven't you?
Yeah. So today I've just apologised to him actually in the way that yes, we got the one, and he come up to me, apologised about punting me up the backside over the line, but. We just had to win the race, so you know the apology was as in trying to control it a little bit, you know. But we had to win it, and we won it fair and square, and that's great. You know, we had, to be fair, we put it on pole. We had good pace today. Yesterday we had good pace. Like I said, it was just one of them. Listen, and you got people like me and Patrick, who's, you know, pretty fair and square and down the middle. It's always going to be close because, you know, you get somebody who'll just punch one another off, and me and him, it's side by side, and, you know, there's two doesn't fit in one corner, does it?
That's it, exactly, and you're both really, really fast out there, so there's always going to be a battle. It's been a battle all season for you both, hasn't it? One against the other, so it's been really entertaining.
It's really good though, you know, because we do get on, you know what I mean? It's, you know, he was over today, I've helped him his car in the past, and he was over today saying, it's like your car seems a bit smoother, you know, going over the rough, and why is that? And I'm saying, well, because you're behind me, I'm just trying to control it, you know. So we have a bit of banter as well. It's been a nice situation. That's the thing with the BTRDA, honestly. We've had such a good season because it's real social motorsport, and like I said, I've said it before, we started our career, I'm going to finish it here, it's just fantastic. Like.
Well, good luck for the next round, eh?
Yeah, well, Lyddon Hill as well, you know, and I think there'll be a lot of British contenders practicing down there, so the competition there is going to be really, really fierce. But I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of old friends down there as well, you know, because I come from the British Championship, and it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be nice. You know, we'll see some things, and like I said, they'll be going for it. They'll be, you know, they'll be wanting to take the podium. So me and Patrick's going to have to go and take it to them.
Exactly. Well, good luck. We'll see you there.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks a lot.
You.
Cheers. Thank you.
The sun's still shining here in South Wales, and there is still more great rallycross action to come here at Pembrey after this short break. Welcome back to Pembrey here at round 6 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. Now time for the Mel Williams Tyres production category. This is the B final. The top 2 finishers in this race go onto the back of the grid for the A final. The green Citroen Saxo of David Martin at the front of the grid, along with the silver version of Trevor Bevan. Behind them, Sue Lane in her Honda Civic. She was the B final winner in the 5th round on Saturday, and Trevor Bevan has stalled. He hasn't got away. He has now, but it's quite a way behind. David Martin leads them off ahead of Sue Lane. 3rd place we have Jordine Wadge in her Citroen C2, battling with Gary Salmon in his Vauxhall Corsa. They lean on each other through the first turn. A bit of contact there. That's put a dent in Gary Salmon's door. He's just ahead of Jordine Wadge in the Citroen C2. She goes down to 4th place as a result of that. The other car in this race, John Rook, in behind them in his Peugeot 106. Trevor Bevan starting to recover after stalling on the line. It's David Martin in the green Saxo who leads the way ahead of Sue Lane in her Honda Civic. Jordine Wadge trying to get round the outside there of Gary Salmon in the Corsa, in the Joe Miskauskas owned Citroen C2, and she does get around the outside there. Britain's fastest nurse up into 3rd position. Her next target is Sue Lane in the Honda Civic, sporting a few battle scars after an off in round 5 on Saturday, which took out one of our cameras, which thankfully survived, as did Sue's Honda Civic. And we've got Jordine Wadge ahead of Gary Salmon. Good battle developing between these two here as they go into the infield section. First full lap of the course here in this B final. Don't forget, only the first 2 go through, and Jordine Wadge is after the leaders. Goes a bit wide there, goes over the grass, trying a little bit too hard there, I think, to catch up after that bit of contact at the start. That's going to allow Gary Salmon to come through, and Trevor Bevan's going to come through as well. Is Jordine Wadge in trouble there? The C2 slows right down. She's lost 2 places out onto the grass on Speedway Straights, and she's down to 5th ahead of John Rook. That spoiled Jordine's chances of getting through to what I think would have been her first A final of the season. The first 2 have got away as a result of that. Up to 3rd is Gary Salmon. Then we've got Trevor Bevan. He's going to try and go through as they come up through Senna and then to Ollie's corner. Yes, he's through, up into 3rd position. 5th we have got Jordine Wadge, and then John Rook at the back in his Peugeot. But out in front, David Martin, fastest lap of the race around lap number 1, of course, ahead of Sue Lane in the Honda in 2nd place. David Martin bounces his way over the ruts there at Carter's hairpin, back onto the tarmac, gets his foot down towards the left-hander at Brooklands. Still in 3rd place we've got Trevor Bevan, recovering nicely after stalling from the front row at the start. Mel Williams Tyres production category once again having the biggest entry of the weekend of any class here at Pembrey. David Martin in number 761. Saxo continues to lead the Honda Civic, of Sue Lane in 2nd place. Trevor Bevan back up to 3rd, then it's Salmon 4th. 5th we have Jordine Wadge. 6th position it is John Rook. Jordine and John both BTRDA officials behind the scenes in Rallycross. They certainly do a lot of work to organise these events. To the left-hander of Carter's, David Martin continues to lead the way. Sue Lane a little bit out of shape there in second place. She's not under any immediate threats from the next car, which is Trevor Bevan. Starting to spread out slightly now on this lap 3 of 6.5 really in this B final. Looking to go through onto the back of the A final grid there, where they will meet the likes of yesterday's winner Keith Kershaw. So the UK Poland team are here, Jarek Sokowiecki and Krzysztof Kozon. Joe Meskauskas is in the final as well. Dale Ford, who took the flag in the A final in round 5 yesterday, but unfortunately failed scrutineering. Jordan Mudge in 56. It's a little wide there through Ollie's, trying to recover after getting into a bit of a schmozzle on the first lap with Gary Salmon in the Corsa. David Martin continues to lead the way. Sue Lane in second place. There's an understeering number 14, Trevor Bevan, on his recovery drive. Have to make a fair amount of progress to catch these two. David Martin from Sue Lane. Got to start their 5th lap. Through Senna and up towards Ollie's. Jordan Wadge now slipping back into the clutches of John Rook in the Peugeot 106 there at the back of the field. Trevor Bevan in the Marks Motors sponsored Citroën Saxo, Citroën Honda, Citroën Vauxhall, Citroën and Peugeot, these 6 cars in this one. 3.2 seconds the lead margin for Dave Martin. Trevor Bevan a further 3 seconds back, near enough in 3rd place. So I don't think Sue Lane is going to be caught here for 2nd. She's going to qualify for her 2nd A final of the weekend, one of the best weekends Sue has had in her Rallycross career so far. As Dave Martin continues to head the pack in that lurid green Citroën Saxo. Similarly coloured car of Dan Flitcroft also competing this weekend, the Citroën C2. He had some problems in his heats. Into the last lap we go then. David Martin continues to head the pack. Round Ollie's, onto the infield into Hanson's, then up towards the paddock S's for Carter's hairpin, and then onto Speedway straights. He's not going to be caught here, David Martin. Flicks the Saxo through the paddock S's, and onto the brakes into the left-hander at Carter's. He's 4 seconds clear now of Sue Lane, as he was at the end of the previous lap. Lane in the Honda in 2nd. Trevor Bevan closing up. He got the best lap of anybody last time through, 51.6 seconds. He's not going to catch Sue Lane though. Gary Salmon going well, looking for his best finish so far in his career, up in 4th. But in comes David Martin. He comes in to take the checkered flag and wins the B final. Clear of Sue Lane, who takes 2nd. Those two go through to the A final. Now join the back of the grid. 3rd is Trevor Bevan. Nice recovery after stalling at the start. And then through for 4th will be Gary Salmon in his Vauxhall Corsa. Salmon takes 4th. Jordan Wadge will be 5th, just ahead of her fellow Rallycross official John Rook. 6 cars go the distance then in our B final. The win going to David Martin by 4 seconds ahead of Sue Lane. Further back, a further near 6 seconds back was Trevor Bevan in 3rd. Gary Salmon 4th ahead of Jordan Wadge, and John Rook completing the 6 finishers. Time for the A final then, in the Mel Williams Tyres production category. Heats won by Krzysztof Kozon from Poland in his Citroën Saxo, Jarek Sokowiecki, his teammate from Poland, in his Saxo, and Andrew Smith in the Renault Clio won heat number 3. He starts on pole with the yellow and grey Clio alongside Keith Kershaw. Joe Meskauskas completing the front row. They thrash their way off the line then into this A final. Andrew Smith it is who has made the start, looking for his 2nd A final round win this year. Keith Kershaw loses a wing mirror there. Bit of rubbing on the way into the first corner. We've got a spinner. Joe Meskauskas gets dumped out onto the grass. He'll rejoin at the back of the field. So we're underway then with the Renault Clio leading over the freshly watered infield section. Andrew Smith ahead of Irishman Keith Kershaw, who won round 5 yesterday. It's going to be a little bit slippery in the early stages here with the water that's gone down to combat the dust. 3rd place is one of the UK Poland Rallycross team cars. That's Krzysztof Kozon, heat winner earlier on, as was his teammate Jarek Sokowiecki. Down towards the left-hander at Brooklands they go for the first time, and Joe Meskauskas pulling off in the 57. He's out of the race. Smith leads it through, and over goes one of the Saxos. That's Christoph Kozon, up and over. That will be the end of his race. He hit the curb there, rolls it over, and that's the end of the race for Christoph Kozon. His teammates still going at the back there, Jarek Sokowiecki. Fair play to Christoph Kozon getting the car out of the way, as off goes Nathan Jones in his Honda Civic as well. The black car we caught a glimpse of there, he's had a spin. Gets it going again at the rear of the field. Well, pretty incident-packed so far, this A final for the Mel Williams Tyres production category. There is one of the points pace setters, number 5, Luke Mason. He's got some damage to the right-hand side of the car. It's Smith who leads from Kershaw, and they are well clear of their opposition now. Passing the broken-down Citroen C2 of Joe Miskauskas. Dale Ford is third in what's left of his Citroen Saxo. Some of the front bodywork missing off that car. Then we've got Sue Lane up to 4th place, the driver who starts at the back of the grid. Incidentally, David Martin, who won the B final, failed to take the start. So just 9 cars in this race. Kershaw clear in second. There's Dale Ford in what's left of his Saxo in 3rd place. Then we've got Sue Lane. 5th is Luke Mason. 6th is Jarek Sokowiecki. And the only other car left running is Nathan Jones, because Kozon and Miskauskas out of the race. Andrew Smith in a slightly smoky, slightly battered Renault Clio leads the way, looking for his 2nd final win of the year on his local circuit, the Gower Motors Clio. England, Wales, Ireland, Lithuania and Poland all represented on the grid for this race. Not much luck for the Poles though, with Christoph Kozon rolling spectacularly out of the action on the first lap. Away goes the 2 leaders, Andrew Smith and Keith Kershaw. More bits of bodywork being shed there as they come down the speedway straight. There's more bits falling off Dale Ford's Saxo. There's not going to be much left of that car by the end of the race. The state of that. Nearly had an incident in his heats earlier on. He's third ahead of Sue Lane in the Honda Civic. Then Luke Mason, newcomer this year in the Peugeot. He's being challenged by Jarek Sokowiecki in the UK-Poland Rallycross team Citroen Saxo. Seen plenty of Polish racers come over to compete in recent years. Marius Melberg, Thomas Velgosh, and so on. Down speedway straight comes the leader. He and Keith Kershaw well clear now. There's Luke Mason ahead of Sokowiecki. Nathan Jones has caught back up again in the Honda after his spin on the first lap. It really was a chaotic first lap of this A final. We saw Joe Miskauskas get spun out and subsequently retire. Christoph Kozon flipped over at Brooklands. There's still bits falling off that Saxo. He's still got 4 wheels. Dale Ford, who came home in front of yesterday's A final only to fail scrutineering. And Keith Kershaw inherited the win. Keith Kershaw just under 3 seconds behind Andrew Smith in this race. Dale Ford still going in third in the lightweight model of the Citroen Saxo. Maybe that's his plan. He's shedding a bit of weight to keep ahead of his opposition. Keith Kershaw there in second place. They head down speedway straight over the debris. There is the car that's produced most of that debris. Dale Ford, he won't be too pleased with the number of Saxo parts he'll have to buy after this one. 2 laps to go this time around for Andrew Smith in number 644. Sue Lane looking to get onto the podium here. Front of her car is rather gaffer taped together as Nathan Jones makes a move there at Brooklands, past Jarek Sokowiecki. Now his Saxo's starting to shed its front end bodywork as well. Look at the state of that, the front bumper hanging off, the wheel arch as well. There goes the bumper. Goodness me. Absolutely chaotic A final here. There's bits of car all over the place. Plenty of souvenirs for the volunteer marshals here at Pembrey. Must say a big thank you to all the volunteer marshals and other officials who follow Rallycross around the UK. We could not go racing without them. Keith Kershaw with the fastest lap of the race on lap 4, 51.899. He's not catching Andrew Smith just yet. Another lap to go. Andrew Smith looking for final win number 2 this year. His first came at Pembrey early in the season. Dale Ford still third. In what's left of his Saxo. Sponsored by Steve Gaunt Trailers. Sue Lane in 4th place as they start the final. Behind them, Luke Mason is catching up. He's shaken off Nathan Jones and Jarek Sokowiecki. Andrew Smith still leads the way by 3.3 seconds. He's 8 seconds up in turn Keith Corshaw rather is still 8 seconds up in turn on Dale Ford. Out of the hairpin for the last time, along the speedway straights. Is Keith Kershaw going to get into position to make a move here? He's closing up now on Andrew Smith, unleashing his finishing kick, if you like, here. Keith Kershaw to try and catch the leader. 3 cars together for third. Luke Mason has caught Sue Lane. But it looks like it is going to be a win for Andrew Smith. 2 A-final wins for him this year. Takes the flag ahead of Keith Kershaw. Keith's late effort not quite enough there to make it a double for the weekend. Andrew Smith therefore wins round 6. Dale Ford manages to keep it on the road to take 3rd place ahead of Sue Lane. That's her best overall result so far. 5th goes to Luke Mason. Then further back, Nathan Jones in 6th. And Jarek Sokowiecki will come in to take 7th place further back. What a chaotic race that was. Something a demolition derby at one point. Andrew Smith the winner by 2.2 seconds ahead of Keith Kershaw. Dale Ford in 3rd. Further back holding off Sue Lane and Luke Mason. Then Nathan Jones, Jarek Sokowiecki, while Joe Miskauskas and Christoph Kozon were non-finishers.
So you led from the start there, Andrew.
Yes. Had a lucky break, had a good pole position, so just managed to nip in front and led the way all the way around. So very happy with that. It was good. Yes.
Well, it's well deserved. I know yesterday you did make it to the final after a few problems, but you didn't win, and today you've got the win.
No, I made it to 3rd yesterday, but cars had a bit of a bruising, but it's a couple of repairs now when we get home, and ready for Lindhill.
So do you enjoy Pembrey? You have won here before.
Yes, one last time in Pembrey, so my home turf, so good to have another win here, so I do enjoy it. It's good track.
And how did you find the reverse track today?
It was good, better than last time. A bit wet when they watered the track, a bit of a few potholes, but apart from that, pretty good.
Seems to suit your car well. You look like you're going fast around there.
Yes, it was really good today, so I'm happy with it. So really well.
Well done. So you're going to make the journey to the next round?
Yes, up to Lyndon now, so nice to have a little bit of a break now and a bit of a downtime and give me time to repair the car.
I was going to say, fix the car up a little bit, ready for next time.
Yes, that's it. So really good.
Brilliant. Well, we'll see you there then.
Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
The sun continues to shine here at the Pembrey circuit in South Wales. Some great rallycross action from the BTRDA Clubmans drivers, and there's still more to come here at Pembrey this afternoon in round 6 of the championship. Time for the 4x4 final now, the 2 4x4 classes running together. We are on board with Dan Beattie, who's running in the Albertech Racing production class. While ahead of us is the Racebred Auctions Clubman's 4x4 category. Nigel Burke leading off in that class, number 47. Michael Morris, his only rival in that category, rather slow away there and a bit smoky in 191. Looks like he's got a problem. He won the category yesterday, but it looks as though he's in trouble. So Nigel Burke, number 47, the winner of the only heats completed for the Clubman 4x4s today, sponsored by Racebred Auctions, leads them off. Second is Dan Beattie, yesterday's winner in the Albertech Racing production 4x4s in round 5 in second, and Paul Davis, his rival, in 3rd overall, second in that category. Had a couple of spins in yesterday's final. Hopefully he's cured his handling problem. So it's Nigel Burke who leads, the only runner left by the look of things in the Racebred Auctions Clubman's 4x4 Championship, with Michael Morris having dropped out of the race at the start. There he is in the background going very slowly, so it looks like his race is run. And we're down to just 3 Subarus running, the 2 4x4 categories combined onto one grid here today due to the smaller entry in both classes than we normally see. So it's Burke who leads the way, and I don't think he's going to be caught here by the 2 production class Subarus. Number 47 leads them through Carter's hairpin. Danny Beattie in second place, 3rd is Paul Davis. Quite a rivalry have developed between those two over the last couple of years. Paul Davis, the reigning champion, now into the left-hander at Brooklands. Paul Davis hoping to avoid a spin today, spun in the A-final of round 5. He scored a heat win, while Danny Beattie won the other 2 in 1-1-3 to extend his championship lead here. He doesn't need to worry about catching Nigel Burke because, of course, they are running in separate, effectively separate races because they're in different divisions. The Racebred Auctions Clubman's 4x4, the most powerful cars run by the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. Just one of them left running in this race, on board with Dan Beattie, who is keeping pace with the 47 car ahead of him, to be fair to him. So Nigel Burke not getting away by any huge stretch here. You can see him ahead there on Speedway straights. we have an upset here and Dan Beattie perhaps catch Nigel Burke. Whether Nigel's got a problem, I'm not too sure. Paul Davis in third place. Michael Morris out of the race. Dara Morris was also over from Ireland along with Michael, competed yesterday but broke down in the heats of round 5. So both the Morris boys out of the meeting. There's only just over a second in it here between Burke and Beattie. I reckon there's a problem with that 47 car. He doesn't need to push hard, of course. He knows as long as he finishes, he's going to win the class, Nigel Burke. So whether he's just taking it easy here, I'm not too sure. Whether there is a problem with the number 47. There's the number 113, Dan Beattie in second place. Further back, Paul Davis in third, having to give best to Dan Beattie once again this weekend. We're going to have to start lap number 4 this time of this 6.5 lap A final here at Pembry. First time they've used the anti-clockwise layout. Through the Toyo tyre chicane over the line at Senna corner. There's Paul Davis, blue and yellow livery of the Subaru. Of course, made famous by the Subaru World Rally team, the blue and yellow colours. Bit of a lock up there as he goes through Ollie's Bend. Nigel Burke continues to lead, 2.2 seconds clear of Dan Beattie. Beattie a further 4 seconds ahead of Paul Davis. Nigel Burke still out front, but Dan Beattie still keeping him in sight here. Now, if Nigel Burke fails to finish here, then unfortunately the category will have no finishers in Clubmans at 4x4. Red and white Subaru ahead of the red version, then the blue one of Paul Davis. 2 laps to go. Nigel Burke, I think he's just taking it easy here because he knows his category rivals have dropped out. Dara Morris failing to race today. Michael Morris not completing the first lap in this final. He was very slow off the line, clearly problems with the 191 car. Indeed, 2 of the heats were not run earlier in this meeting, only 1 heat completed with Nigel Burke winning it due to the problems for the Morris boys cars. Leads the way out of the hairpin. Other cars we've seen in this Clubman's 4x4 category: Andy Grant's Ford Focus, Matt Mark Watson's Citroen Zara, Roger Thomas with his Ford Focus and Opel Astra. He won the category last season. Coming around to start the final lap here at Pembry. Still Beattie not far away. The gap was 2.2 seconds. What's it going to be this time through? Paul Davis further back in third. Seems to have cured those handling problems from round 5. Saying that he does run wide there, a little bit late on the brakes for Ollie's once again. 2.8 seconds is now the gap between first and second place overall. So Nigel Burke is heading for victory. Over the bumps at the Carter's hairpin onto Speedway Straight. As we said, he doesn't need to push hard or go at 100% here. He knows his car's more powerful than the production 4x4 cars behind him. And Nigel Burke running unopposed, apart from the first lap of this final. He's coming in to win the Racebred Auctions Clubman's 4x4 A final. He takes the win in the Albertech Racing production 4x4. It's going to be a double for the weekend for Dan Beattie. Paul Davis comes over in third, and their other rival Tracy Bennett, a non-starter. Well, Dan Beattie acknowledges the crowd, acknowledges the marshals as well. Nigel Burke, the overall winner, and he takes the Clubman's 4x4 category, finishing 4.5 seconds near enough ahead of Danny Beattie, who wins the production 4x4s. Paul Davis in third. Michael Morris was a retirement.
Dan, you must be on an absolute high. What a weekend.
Oh, it's a fantastic weekend. Couldn't have asked for a better one.
It's been brilliant. I said you broke the Pembry curse by winning finally at Pembry yesterday, round 5. Yeah. Did it again?
I know. Like I said, couldn't have asked for a better one. It's played out perfect. Everything I've wanted to do, I've managed to do, so it's good. Yeah.
There was a little moment, I think, where you went wide. I think Paul nearly had you. Not quite.
I couldn't see my memories. I just tried to make as much dust as possible and hope for the best.
He did, and he didn't get through, so well done. And you had one in front of you as well, so was he keeping you on the pace?
Yeah, surprisingly, I think he had a bit of a tyre problem, so he was slowing a bit, but it was good to try and keep up with him, and it's something to aim for, which is nice. Yeah,
definitely. So you're going for another win at the next round at Lyddon?
Hopefully. Yeah, we'll be there.
Keep the points up. Yeah, brilliant. Good luck. We'll see you there.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's check out the provisional points then after round number 6. Well, Luke Constantine, still unbeaten in A finals this year in the junior class, leads overall by 9 points ahead of Classics leader Ryan Taylor. Tony Lynch and Patrick Ryan, the super modified runners, just 4 points apart behind them. Tom Constantine and Ryan Stutchbury next, then production leader Keith Kershaw, his lead reduced by Andrew Smith today, and Dan Beattie and James Constantine round out the top 10. That concludes the action from round 6 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship here at Pembrey. Some brilliant racing despite the red hot conditions here in South Wales this weekend. Some great entertainment, action and incidents in equal measure. For round number 7, the championship moves on to the famous Liddon Hill circuits down in Kent. But for now, thanks very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.